Hello, I am HQ of HQ Reacts. If you have made it this far and you're not subscribed, please hit the like button and subscribe and share. If you find me on other social media platforms, please follow me. And you might find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Hey. This is HQ of HQ Reacts. Now, this is my video regarding the Kilmar Garcia deportation, right? Now, now I get it. This young man was deported. Now, the Trump administration is currently facing a bunch of backlash for this over the wrongful deportation of this young man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a Maryland resident who was mistakenly sent to El Salvador despite having a court order protecting him from being deported. Now, he fled from El Salvador as a teenager and built a life in Maryland, where he worked as a metal worker and a union member. In 2019, an immigration judge, right, ruled that deporting him would expose him to danger. So he was granted the protection from being removed from this country. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, right? Despite this, he was deported by the Trump administration on March 15th, 2025, due to what the Department of Justice initially described as an administrative error. Wow. Now, the deportation of this young man is condemned as unconstitutional by legal experts, judges, lawmakers across the political spectrum. I'm reading, so, give me an opportunity. Okay. His background. I'm reading the background. He's a Salvadorian national residing in Maryland. He was deported back to El Salvador, March 2025, despite the court saying he was not supposed to be deported. Okay. The protection or the judge ordered explicitly barring him from being deported due to the fears of him being persecuted. Okay. The United States government, the Trump administration, later admitted that they were aware of this, but they deported him anyway and said it was an administrative error for him to be deported. Now, multiple courts, including U.S. Supreme Court, have ordered the Trump administration to bring that boy back from wherever he's at, right? They have said deportation is lawless, okay? Emphasizing that this person was removed without lawful authority, due process, and placed in that prison in El Salvador, a Salvadorian prison known for inhumane conditions. Despite this, the Trump administration has refused to comply, refused to go and get this boy, arguing that it has no jurisdiction over this El Salvadorian prison. And he's no longer in United States custody. Okay? This is a legal stand by the Trump presidency, has been criticized by legal experts, federal appealing court judges. It's called unconstitutional and shocking. Okay? They don't have any reason to keep that boy over there. Okay? They know that it was a mistake to deport this boy. Okay? But now they're trying to label him as a MS-13 gang member. They don't have no evidence. They have been to court, haven't proven it, haven't shown up with any kind of record saying this young man is a gang member. The whole point is we cannot allow this to go unrecognized. Okay? He's still in this prison. We had, I forgot his last name. I forgot. He was a senator. He went over there to see about the boy in jail. Okay? But the president also of El Salvador came over here and said he was not releasing the young guy. I don't understand what's wrong with this due process thing, right? Every person is due their rights. You have to find out, they have to go to court before you can deport them. Okay? They ignored due process with this Kilmore Garcia. Okay? Why did they do it? They did it because they want to be hard-nosed or hard-assed about immigration. They doubling down on this aggressive stand that they have about immigration. See, a lot of people don't know what happens when immigration kicks in. Okay, this person, you have to go through a court that says you're not legally supposed to be here. They did not do that. What the Trump administration did was they paid this El Salvador president money to take our prisoners, to take people who did not go through due process over to their prison, to keep them. Now they won't release them. And some of these people are innocent. You cannot do that. It's unconstitutional. There was a court order saying he was not supposed to go. Okay? This is a political strategy by the Trump administration. Okay? What they're trying to do is justify the removal of political agitators or people that are immigrants or who have immigration status. They're trying to strip away all of those things. Okay? This is the kind of thing that's going to backfire. And I get it. Some of you goofballs don't get it. You just want to see the brown people gone. I get all of that too. And I get in a more global sense, I get why you want to do that. You see the country becoming more brown. So this scares you. It scares a lot of people. All the Mexican people taking my job, the Mexican people taking my da-da-da. All that garbage, all that nonsense. I get all that too. Even some black people saying that bullshit. But then you still have to get rid of them by using due process. You can't just put them on a flight and then send them somewhere and say the good form they get to go. That's not how our Constitution works. Okay, the Trump administration has taken a hard stand against the Supreme Court, trying to throw judges in jail, trying to get judges in trouble, get them fired, get them removed from cases and all this kind of stuff. They violated a court order. You can't just violate a court order because you're the president. That's not how that works. This is a direct challenge to the rule of law. We cannot allow it to stand. Okay? Of course, they said it was an administrative error. Then you should have got him back. But a lot of evidence suggests that they just ignored it. They don't care. My video is titled, "This is a kite move by the administration." What I think they're doing is they testing the boundaries of the Constitution when it comes to immigration. They're testing the boundaries to see if anybody stops them from doing what they're doing. So if they don't stop them from doing what they're doing now, they're going to keep doing it. Now, I'm just saying for the people out there that's listening, not the goofballs that ain't listening, all the one, oh, Trump is doing what I asked for. Okay, good for you. I'm glad of that. But he's not doing what the bulk of the country is doing. This is a dangerous precedent. that is being set. There's a bunch of legal and dangerous constitutional precedents that have been set by this administration that we cannot allow to stand. Okay? Against civil rights, individual rights, respect of the rule of the law. You, as a president, you have to respect the rule of law. You're in charge of this country. You don't get to say when you want to follow an order or not. That's why we have 3 forms of government, because they have all equal say. And when one government, one body, the Supreme Court judges say this is unconstitutional, that president is supposed to follow that, not do what he wants to do, how he wants to do it. It's unconstitutional what he is doing. Now, the danger is they're defying executive court orders. If an administration can sit by and ignore court order injunctions, that threatens our whole legal system of checks and balances between the president and judges and the Supreme Court judges. This undermines the legal judicial authority, and it opens the door to authoritarian regimes, fascist regimes, where the executive branch, the presidency, has no accountability to the people. You know, this precedent that was set, he is defying the court orders because they're claiming that it's a matter of logistics and foreign policy challenges. We don't have them in our custody, so we can't get them. This is what they're challenging. This is a dangerous precedent. I'm not doing what you say, Supreme Court judge. I can't do nothing. They got them, so I can't do nothing. No, that's not how it goes. That's not how it should go. And we should be pushing back more on that. Regular, ordinary folks should be pushing back on this, ignoring the rule of law, ignoring the Supreme Court judge, ignoring that part of our government. He was removed without due process. He was removed in the middle of his legal case, which is still pending, which is in violation of the judicial stay that they had on his court case. If this becomes a precedent, it weakens our constitutional protections for due process, because due process means we have a right to face our accusers in court. That's basically what due process means. We have a right to face our comeuppance in court. Whatever, we have the right to defend ourselves in court, in a court of law. Even those who are lawfully present, we have to have deep ties to this legal precedent. We can't do this. We can't allow this president to do this. Immigrants, even those with legal status or pending status, can be forcibly removed without their cases being heard if we allow this to stand. This is what they did to Kilmar Garcia. They did not let him go to court. They just put him on a plane and put him in this jail. The Trump administration paid these foreign jails to take our people. What's to say that he won't pay them to take regular prisoners who don't even belong to that country? Let's ship all our prisoners out. Ship them over to El Salvador, to the worst of the worst prisons. This is what that precedent sets to allow this to stand. They keep saying, or they keep smearing the judges' names, or the legal avenues that people say he needs to go down. After the deportation, the administration tried to forcibly or retroactively justify the actions by painting that boy or saying that boy was a gang member. He ain't never been no gang member. He fled El Salvador so he wouldn't have to join a gang. They made that up so they could justify him being on that plane and getting over there to that other country without formal charges or proof. If you can just say that I'm a gang member of an African country, you can deport me, regardless of me being an American citizen, regardless of me having legal status to be here, regardless. They can say, I don't belong here and I can be taken to another country. You cannot allow this to happen. This is what they did to that boy. The state can forget all legal ramifications, legal protections by saying these people are a threat. They come into my house and say I'm a gang member, they can deport me. Y'all hit the like button. Y'all coming in the door, hit the like button. This is legal news. This is news that we need to know as Americans, especially as brown Americans, if you're a brown American. The state can sidestep any legal protections and deport you, regardless of whether you're American or not. That's what they did to this boy. And I don't want to hear the dumb shit that he's not American. He is legally supposed to be here. If you say anything more, you just don't read. You just listen to the goofy shit. He's legally supposed to be here. The administration say they can't go get that boy. We gave him to El Salvador. El Salvador, it's their problem now. It's hands on. It's hands off. That ain't our government. We don't get to say what happened in El Salvador. Okay. And it's like, look, you created this fucked up situation. You put them in the hands of those people. Then you need to go get them. They can't refuse because of jurisdictional limits. You can't say because it ain't my country, I can't go get them. You sent them there. Go get them. You can't use deportation as a political cudgel. This case with Kilmar Garcia shows us that they're using this as a political tool, both to advance the bullshit narrative and demonstrate that they stand on business. And I know a lot of men, I done heard a lot of men say, Trump be standing on business. Trump is a unconstitutional clown. They want to display toughness and a narrative that they want to put out, even at the expense of human rights, and we can't and legal protections. We can't afford. We can't do that. Deportation becomes not just policy enforcement, but a form of political messages and punishment. I get to deport whoever I want to deport because I feel like it. Because I decided that you were a gang member, so I want to deport you, regardless of whether you black, white, or green. These precedents they go far beyond where we at. It goes internationally. It can affect civil liberties, the judicial independence, democratic norms all across the world. Even though this is domestic policy and it sends a powerful message and a ripple across the globe, it can affect civil liberties in other countries, democratic norms in other countries, in a whole bunch of ways. It's an erosion of our civil liberties as we are supposed to be a beacon of light across this world. Precedents matter across the world. We have been seen as a leader in human rights and constitutional protections, and here we are on some bullshit. deporting people without due process, violating the due process, ignoring court orders, ignoring judges, threatening judges, deporting people unlawfully based on some bullshit, flimsy accusations. It weakens our country and our civil liberties abroad. We are no longer the beacon of what's right and fair in this world if we allow this to stand. Undermining judicial independence globally. When the United States defies its own Supreme Court, it undermines the principles that our judges don't need to be respected, and they're not a respectable part of our Constitution or part of our norms. Judges in other countries, judges ain't respected like these. And if we start doing the same thing other countries do with judges, we gonna have problems in this country. A rule of law is not even gonna be worth the paper. Every country is as strong as their police force, as strong as their laws. If we ignore the court rulings, other despots and rulers and fascist leaders and regimes will start to feel bold enough where they can do whatever the hell they want in their country too, where they can sideline, unalive, cancel juries and judges and all whole nine. And then they can say, oh, the strongest country in the world does it. The strongest country on the planet does it. I mean, the strongest country on the planet does it. United States ignores their judges. The United States ignores their people. They do what they want. They deport people however they want. We're supposed to be a place where people can look and say, this is how it's supposed to be done. Not we turning around doing what they've been doing for years, deporting their people, offing their people, judges, rulers, and the whole nine. It's not what we do. That's not how we are supposed to conduct ourselves as a country. Our democratic norms, and we don't have no accountability. Nobody has accountability anymore. You mean to tell me y'all ain't giving Trump no account? Trump don't have no accountability? You just allowing him to do whatever he want to do? Our democratic systems rely on the law, the three forms of government keeping each other in check, clear and concise procedures, due process. Not when Trump feel like following the rule of law. Not one time have I seen him try to follow the rule of law. He's just doing what he want to do. That is not what a president is supposed to be doing. And with the Kilmore Garcia case, this is the most blatant, obvious ignoring of the Constitution that we have seen towards this president. Disobeying the Supreme Court of law, falsifying and providing a bogus proof of him being a gang member, and then refusing after the Supreme Court told you to get your ass over there and go get that boy. Y'all decide y'all ain't gonna go get that boy. You're being unconstitutional. This is unconstitutional. And when you do that, you lose moral standing in this world. I done lost respect for whoever works for the presidency. I done lost respect for the presidency. Amazingly, within 3-4 months, a lot of people have lost respect for this presidency. We have lost respect. We have lost our standing. We have lost all of that in the span of 3 months because of this president right here. Loss of moral standing in this world. Our position has been weakened. Our human rights have been abused. There has been overreach in this Trump administration. And we have seen it simply loud and clear because of this boy. But there have been other overreaches that this president has done. And yet nobody is worried about the Constitution. I don't give a damn what president is in order, is in charge. You're supposed to follow the Constitution, regardless of what president it is. Republican or Democrat. You're supposed to follow the law. The law. And the president, the Supreme Court, Justice 9-0 said, go get that boy. And the Trump administration is saying, we can't go get him. We made a mistake. No, you MFers, go get the boy. Because if you allow him to stay, that means you guys have more say over this country than the Supreme Court, and you don't. You have eroded our Constitution. International norms, regular household, regular domestic norms, the rule of law, due process, all of these things are in trouble if we allow this continue. They are justifying their abuse of this young man. They are justifying their abuse of the rule of law. They are justifying their abuse of ignoring the Supreme Court. So the deportation of Kilmar Garcia is unconstitutional due to the violation of this court order that this judge had, his denial of due process, and the government's failure to comply with going to get that boy. The ongoing refusal to rectify this situation, it raises concerns on how far you're going to let the presidential side go. How far are we going to allow this president to go when he's overreaching, being unconstitutional? So my question is this, people. When they come for you knocking on your door and you're an American citizen, what are you going to say when they deport you? Are you going to say that I stood up for this young man too? Or are you going to say, it ain't me, he ain't going to come for I remember distinctly me getting on, who shows that? I got on Tasha K. I got on her show before Trump was elected. And I said, they going to start deporting black folk. They going to start deporting. They making a way to deport black folk without due process. And here the hell we are, right on the street, right getting ready to start deporting folks. Because they finna snatch all of these people who got immigration status or temporary status or any of those things. They're gonna start snatching those things, and then they're gonna start deporting more and more folks that are American citizens. And yet y'all sit up there and y'all let it happen. Ooh, Trump doing what I want him to do. No, the fuck he ain't doing what he wanted to do. He's breaking the constitutional law. He is ignoring the Supreme Court. And that right there, to me, is treasonous. But then that's just me, right? I want a president that's going to follow the law. He is not following the law. This young man, Kilmore Garcia, did not go through the process of being deported. The Trump administration made up some gang affiliation that he supposedly had to deport him. That is unconstitutional. And we need to do something about that. Instead of people sitting at all you people who voted for Trump, now you need to stand up and start saying things. All of you people who voted for Trump, stand up for the Constitution. I don't care whether you stand up for the Garcia guy or not. Stand up for the Constitution. The Constitution says what they are doing is wrong. And I leave you with this little quote. When they came for the gay people, I said nothing. When they came for the trans people, I said nothing. When they came for the Mexican people, I said nothing. When they came for me, there was nobody to speak for me because they had already come for all the other people. You people need to wake up. Wake up. It ain't about left or right. It's about the Constitution. And I thank you for listening. This is HQ Reacts.